If you do a lot more of those flanks, you will win a lot more games. Hello everyone, and welcome to another dhan video. My name's dhan. Today we're going to be looking at another Tracer on console Overwatch. I'm playing Esperanza, so it's going to be a push map. A little different than Coliseo, but still, I'm sure with most push maps, the same rules apply. Alright, 3 blinks out of spawn. This is great. Get us to that point as quick as possible. We have a ball. Poke dive comp. Already gonna pressure that Widow. That's very good. Pick for a pick. Oh. So Doomfist is not going to be who we want to actually go for first. The Kiriko is getting low. As Tracer, we actually want to be doing some flanking here. So it looks like we actually have lost this fight. So we go and we pressure out this Widow. That's really good. We get the kill there. Now here's the big play. As a Tracer, you're going to be mainly playing with your ball. But once we get this Widow here and we notice that the Bastion and the Lucio were here, we shouldn't have gone to the tank. Instead, we probably should have pressured out the Lucio or the Bastion because the tank's not there to peel for them. Instead, we go after over here. Maybe we're going to try and push the Kiriko. But unfortunately, the ball dies because of this. Now, because ball is dead and we already burnt our resurrect, we're going to need to play this one a little slow, but want to be pushing these 4 people. Right now, it's still a 4v4, so it is still winnable because we got the res off. But we don't want to be playing here because this is the front line right now. Now we want to be repositioning and playing over on this side, harassing the back line. You see Kiriko gets low over here, but because we're playing the front line right now, we are unable to actually push her out. If we were poking out from over here, she would have nowhere else to run and she would die. But because the Doomfist is doing great as a tank, he's actually corralling you guys all into one spot here. And because you guys are all being corralled in one spot, you aren't able to actually apply any physical pressure until you decide to go for your commit, which is these blinks right here. Which Doomfist has already pushed your team all the way over here. So your team's now out of the fight because of Doomfist. And now you're stuck here trying to get some kind of pick going, but you've now committed into this fight and you're kind of stuck here. So I guess that's the first thing. We want to be flanking as Tracer. This is good to stay alive though and keep ourselves alive. We do want to eventually pressure that Widow again. Good. Ooh, that's bad blink. That's okay, we got it. So as Tracer here, we want to be pushing into the enemy. Probably where I would be standing as Tracer is just in this area here. If anyone kind of like, say Widow comes out of here and grapples up here, you're already on top of her as soon as she comes in. People coming through here, as long as the entire team doesn't push through, you're going to be able to pick someone off. If their whole team does push through here, you'll have your blinks to blink somewhere else for the time being. But you want to take as much space as you can with Tracer, because that's going to set you up for good flank angles, as long as you can stay alive before the fight actually starts. Like I said, you're already kind of over here in this fight, so you could have just blinked over there earlier. There, I probably would have gone for like 1 blink toss recall just to keep you in the fight a little bit longer. You would have just recalled back up to high ground and been able to poke him out again. And then this is something we just call an overcommit. So if at any point you take the enemy team and you draw a circle around them, that's kind of where you can't be standing. Otherwise, you have overcommitted. All right, as a Tracer, if you draw a circle around these guys, you would be okay standing here. You'd be okay standing here. You'd be okay standing here. As soon as you drop down into the middle of the team, now you're technically within the team. You're just going to get picked off easily. So that was just a little overzealous. You definitely should have just stayed on this high ground up here and poked them from above or something. Nice. So there, our team actually was primarily dead. So instead of us actually going for picks there, you have to think who has the spawn advantage in this push map. Right now it's under our bridge. Our spawn's here, and we actually have a shorter spawn than they do. They have to travel all the way past the bridge to get to us. We still have the bridge. So if you're losing a fight and you're playing defense, which is what we're doing because they're pushing the bot currently, we want to actually keep the fight going as long as possible. So instead of going for a pick here, probably a better option would have been if we knew the bot was here and we were shooting them. Blink into this area or blink over here to this cover and just try to use as much cover to keep yourself as much alive as possible. Eventually, your team is going to be pushing back to contest, and Lucio's just coming back from spawn. And because you guys have spawn advantage, you guys will actually turn this into a 5v4 for you guys to win instead of staggering, which is somewhat what's happening right now. Especially that Mercy, big stagger. If our Sigma dies here, that's a stagger. He doesn't, that's good. So we spent way too much time doing whatever we were doing here. All that fighting here was just not needed, and the robot's pushing payload, or pushing cart. I know they have hacks, which is going to be 15 seconds till you can do stuff. So you can still push this. You just need to make your decisions quick and just not be close to the Widow's line of sight. Because she's the real threat that's going to be killing you. And yeah, probably just do your best to, like, contest this payload maybe until your tank line can do something. But yeah, that was just a bad rotation that you took. If you guys are liking the content, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have a replay you want me to see. If you have any questions, also comment them. We're also approaching 200 subscribers. So if you want to be under the 200 gang, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it a lot. This is to front fighting. Yeah, so we're fighting a way too forward. You can't be direct with Tracer. She has so much mobility and movement that instead of us just going straight out here and literally taking the longest sight line that we could, just go over here. This is going to provide so much cover, and you'll actually be able to get to the back line very effectively over just handling this really long sight line. I mean, another thing you can do is just go blink all the way over here. I mean, maybe all the way left is too long, but no one's going to be hanging up here. So we come up here, get our 3 blinks, blink twice. Now we're on the Widow. You literally just took the longest sight line possible, and they could have saw you from a mile away. Yeah, so this is better. Big pulse.
Pushing ahead now.
Widow's crazy. Something you can do at Tracer that might improve your game is when someone gets really low, just blink melee.
Don't let them push it any further.
Yeah, like that dude could have gotten meleeed. Looking up actually doesn't change how high you blink up. So you don't need to look up. It might actually mess up your aim. I do like that we're using our ultimate a lot. I just think that we could try to aim it a little better rather than just throwing them out. Because Tracer gets her ultimate so fast, every time that you're able to hit that, it's basically a free pick every fight. We should probably be repositioning. If we were actively positioning, we probably could have gotten that Widow. Instead, us as a damage player, we're just letting that Widow take all the shots in the world. Same deal. Your team was pushing the cart. Maybe you just play up here, and then when the time's right, come out for a quick shot or two before you recall back up here.
Join me.
We definitely recognize that the Widows are a priority, but here we're just a little, we're just out of the fight a little too long. That entire fight, we got caught off hiding over back here. If we're unable to fight this Widow and zone her off, then we need to find picks elsewhere. It seems like the Widow seems to be handling you pretty effectively. So maybe instead of just pressuring the Widow, now we need to just pressure these two, and hopefully the Widow can't peel us off of them quicker than us killing them. See, that's good. This is a good flank. That's how you pick up the kills. If you do a lot more of those flanks, you will win a lot more games. You just need to identify when it's the good time to flank. I like that we changed our playstyle a little bit. Instead of us just constantly running down straight, we're now finding these flanks that we're playing around and against. But Tracer doesn't have recall, so that's good. So now we can take that. Because Tracer didn't have recall, we can now burn her. That's awesome. Widow has really bad positioning there, so that's good.
Focus. Stay with the robot. Your team is almost there. We must take the...
I think something else that might be able to help you out is if you calmed where the Widow was. It seems like you know where the Widow is more than your team does. And calling where she is gonna help your team from getting picked. Even if you're afraid of using your own voice, you can always ping it and it will work. So things we need to work on, we definitely need to just appreciate flanks more and taking the space we can take without getting ourselves caught out. I think there were a lot of times there where we weren't taking the space, and so the Widow was able to effectively set up without us being close to punish her from setting up. If we were close and could punish her when she used her grapple, for example, now she has no way of getting out, and honestly should be a free kill for us. You also would have full blinks at that point, so it would be a lot easier to dodge and weave without trying to use our blinks to close distance. We also need to just take our time on our pulse bombs a little bit more. There are times, I like that we're using it. It's a very good throwaway ultimate, but I think if we positioned it better, maybe instead of just chucking it up in the air like we do, if we actually blink and then look at the ground and slam it on the ground, like say you blink next to someone and throw it on the ground, that person is probably going to get hit by that explosion more than they will if you blink next to them and then chucked it in the air. Because in the air, there's going to be more travel time, and it's not going to, you know, be as accurate as throwing something straight down. You know, of course you'll have to recall, but I think it's a better mechanic, at least there. If we are seeing that our team is getting picked off really quick by the Widow, and we can't seem to shut down the Widow ourselves, maybe we need to either ask our tank to help dive the Widow, or we need to play and try to beat their team as Tracer faster than the Widow can. Because Tracer has just as much carry potential as Widow does, if not more, because of how quick she is. And honestly, Tracer gets punished less than a Widow does. I think that's all of the information I can really give you. I hope it helps, and happy climbing.